And we are live on Open Mic America.
You're muted, Steve.
Did the camera go cattywampus? I think I might have bumped it.
You look okay to me. You're doing okay. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. All right. So I will be your MC for today's event. The ever surprising Mike Simpson is our interviewer, so you'll get a chance to talk to him. Capo Dave Williams, who is the founder of Open Mic America, will be handling the engineering duties. He also builds guitars, incorporating some unique design features that work amazingly well, which I can say with some authority because I bought one and I love it. But I digress. This program exists to support and to raise awareness of local open mic venues where the talent and creativity of folks, much like you'll hear tonight, can be enjoyed live. Songwriters give a voice to human experience. Historical portraits put to music from a variety of different perspectives, which help us to understand, appreciate, and even to enjoy our differences, as well as recognizing the commonality lying beneath. Technology provides us with the ability to give you a sample of the emotion, the wisdom, and the insight that independent songwriting offers all across America, wherever the sign says open mic. So look for it and go for it. And now it's time to introduce our first performer, who is Hank Stone from Patchogue. And I just lost the sheet. I'm a new kid, so this is going to be perfect. Patchogue, New York, East Patchogue, New York. So, Hank, take it away.
All right. Thank you. When I was young, I often tried to stay up all night long to greet tomorrow's sunrise, coming on so strong. But when dawn's rosy fingers pulled the earth into light, they found my teenage body lying there with my eyes shut tight. The sun's gonna rise, the moon is gonna set. That's the only certainty that we will ever get. The moon is silver and the sun is gold. That's the truest fortune that's ever been foretold. And after the eagle landed on the sea of tranquility, some joker looked up at the face of the man on the moon. He said, "There's nothing there that I can see. Why would this fool want to cheat himself out of such a beautiful truth?" 12 men walked upon another world, wonder of my youth. The moon's gonna rise, the sun's gonna set. That's the only certainty that we will ever get. The moon is silver and the sun is gold. That's the truest fortune that's ever been foretold. So make your movies, sing your songs, tell a fantastic tale about some interplanetary escapade or a good old-fashioned wail. The characters will come and go and gaze up at the sky to see the stars and planets swirling around, and they surely will ask why. The moon's gonna rise, the sun's gonna set. That's the only certainty that we will ever get. The moon is silver and the sun is gold. That's the truest fortune that's ever been foretold. Oh, that's the truest fortune that's ever been foretold.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Thank you much. It's nice to be up first because I get to rest and for the rest and just listen to everybody else. This song's about the sun. That had the moon and the sun in it. This morning the sun rose right out of the sea. I took it for a lesson in possibility. Water gave birth to fire. That old devil is a liar. And this morning the sun rose right out of the sea. Last night my heart lay down to sleep. It dreamed of the abyss, but it refused to leap. Darkness gave way to joy. Tell every girl and boy that this morning the sun rose right out of the sea. You know you still got something to say, as long as there is light left in the day. We've made a few mistakes, okay, maybe more than a few. But if we punish ourselves, how does that help us to pull through? Fear gives way to love. We look to the heavens above, and tomorrow the sun will rise right out of the sea. How do we know? Because this morning the sun rose right out of the sea.
Yes.
Thank you kindly.
I should have mentioned this when you started, but apparently your favorite open mic venues is the North Shore Original Open Mic and Cinema Arts Center in Huntington, New York, every Wednesday, is it?
Yes.
So everyone out there in Cyberland can look for you there. So now it's time for Mike Simpson to give you a little quiz.
Great.
All right, Hank Stone, little quiz it is. How you doing, man? Do you
I'm
have
doing good,
crickets?
yourself?
Do you have crickets where you are?
Yeah, I'm out in the backyard here because our air conditioner conked out yesterday,
Oh,
and
dear. Oh dear,
we
that's
can't
no
get
good.
anybody to come in until Tuesday, so
That's
I
no
figured
good.
I'll play outside.
Well, starting with the first song, lovely lyrics and all that, but I really like the drive to the rhythm that you have in that, and the way that you've yoked the drive of the guitar to the drive in the lyrics. That's some good work you're doing there. I really appreciate it. How long you been writing this, Hank?
Oh, 50 years or more, long, yeah.
Yeah. So, what brought that one out? What raised that song up?
I'm trying to think of the original part. I was just reminiscing. A lot of songs in the past 5 or 10 years have been bringing back childhood memories and things when I was a kid and were a teenager, and that may end up as an album together. Different things. But that was kind of like remember trying to stay up all night and you never make it. You always crash.
Right.
And then the second verse, of course, has to do with the moon landing deniers. And just taking issue with them.
Yeah. Somebody's got to do it. And the second one, where did that arise from?
I guess in the last few years when we've had a lot of social political chaos going on, and it just trying to find some way to be hopeful, and I think I found a little bit of it there, at least for myself.
And from having heard you before, I would venture a guess that you'll agree with me when I say I think you keep that notion of being helpful to the front of your mind when you're writing. Is that right?
I do try. I do have some darker songs too, but
Well,
you don't want to always bring an audience down. So
yeah, that's true. So what do you do? I mean, I hear the avoid the dark thing. That's good. What do you do actually as a songwriter? What actual action do you take in your songwriting to try to make a song helpful to an audience?
That's a tall question. Let's see if I can leap it. What do I do to try to make it? I don't know. I kind of follow wherever it goes. A lot of times I find I don't know what the first lyrics that come up to my mind. I don't know what they mean necessarily, but I'll realize they relate to something I've been thinking about in the previous weeks. Just kind of fold that into it if I'm lucky enough to.
So you're taking the stuff that pops up and then you're attaching it to actual memory and experience as you do it.
I guess sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like that would work. All right. Well, you've done this a number of times. How are we doing? How do you think of Open Mic America?
I love it. It's great to hear people from across the country and see what they're up to, and look forward to hanging out and getting a glimpse of other approaches to songs.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that, and it was good to hear you. I hope we'll hear you back soon, and I'm going to send you back to Steve now.
Great.
Thanks, Hank. I enjoyed your performance tremendously.
Thank you.
Next, we have Joseph Isaacs, who's going to perform for us, and there he is. And his virtual showcase, Music Matters Showcase, is my virtual showcase, as most of the players here tonight know. I guess you're more famous than I realized. If anyone wants to look in the chat, there's a link here to connect to that. I hope everyone is able to find that. And if they're not, send me a chat and I'll figure out how to do that. So Joseph, I'm sorry. Take it away.
Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for hosting this. I think this first song kind of speaks for itself, so I'm going to jump right into it. That's Wilson. Images dance across the screen. It's Choose your side, choose your team, like that's the thing, like that's the thing that matters. Flags will fly, fireworks pop in the air, bands will rock, amplifiers blare. But in the end, the people folding up the chairs, well, that's the thing, yeah, that's the thing that matters. Trophies gather dust on the shelf, don't mean a thing to no one else. The grandma in the kitchen trying to bake, Dad with his pole down at the lake. Don't take a genius, for heaven's sake, to know that's the thing that matters. Two little arms, two little legs, beautiful little eyes in a beautiful little head. That feeling coursing through your chest. Now that's the thing, yeah, that's the thing that matters. Dig down deep, dig deep in there, find that thing for which you care. Gives you a little extra bounce, a little extra flair. Well, that's the thing, yeah, that's the thing that matters.
Nice, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you. That one is in a kind of crazy tuning, so I need to switch guitars here because it will take a long time to retune that. So let me just get this one out of the way, though. Sorry about that. Okay. Hopefully this will work out. All right, this one, I was listening to this podcast about dark matter, which is not something I know a whole lot about. I'm not like the best in science or anything, but it kind of just intrigued me because they were talking about how they use some sort of computer modeling to weigh these galaxies. And when they were weighing the galaxies, they found 96% of the matter like unaccounted for. And my understanding is that's what's considered dark matter. And a couple things tickled my creative songwriting bone there because one was like the idea of weighing galaxies, and I kind of thought like, well, what if you could weigh all these other things like memory? And the other thing was the 96%. You know, it's like that's a lot missing. You know, so anyway, here's the song. If you could weigh the universe, would you find so much missing? So much we don't understand. So much we cannot perceive. Dark matter shadows through our souls. Dark matter, what's missing makes us whole. Dark matter shadows through our soul. If we could weigh our memories, would we find so much missing? Like we don't really understand. Like we haven't really been listening. I know there's reasons we repress, but to the extent we can face our regrets, will it help us soar? Dark matter shadows through our souls. Dark matter, what's missing makes us whole. Dark matter shadows through our souls. If we were to weigh a human heart, it would come out to about 8.5 pounds. So much compassion missing there. So much love still to be found. Dark matter shadows through our souls. Dark matter, what's missing makes us whole. Dark matter, all the things we do not know. Now if we were to weigh written history versus all that has transpired, it'd be fair to say we left most of it out. It would be fair to call us liars. But if we're always hiding from that which we are ashamed, how can we ever evolve? Regrets are an opportunity for a problem to be solved. Dark matter shadows through our soul. Dark matter, what's missing makes us whole. Dark matter, the things we do not know.
Cool.
Presentation of good messages.
Thank you so much.
I'll let Mike Simpson talk to you about those things now. Take it away, Mike.
All right, Joseph Isaacs. I've heard you play a number of times. I've heard you play here. I've heard you play at your place. And there's a very common thing that I notice when you play that I have to say I wish I was in the same category as you in that, and that is a slight misuse of the word, but the prosody in your guitar playing, the degree to which what you do on the guitar reflects, drives, opens the door to what you say inside your lyrics, and then your melodies also, doing in that. So like on the first one, you start right off with this choose the side thing, right? And choose a team, right? It's division, right? It's division, it's separation. And then you swing to the day to day. And really, really hunt down that line about what matters most, with the day-to-day activities and the fishing pole, all that kind of stuff in there. But you've already done it in the guitar work. The little floating licks against that ostinato bass that you do. The bass is then, and that sets us up, and then the lyrics, the lyrical part of what you're playing on the guitar. Is that all conscious?
No, not at all, honestly. I think like what I tend to, the guitar comes first for me a lot of times, and then like I guess I dig around. I like to play around and mess around on my guitar, and you could see that like alternate tunings is kind of what gets me all excited. And when I find something that like kind of jogs something inside of me, and then that kind of means okay, there's a song here somewhere. And then I think I agree with what the previous musician was saying about it. It's almost a little bit sometimes like archaeology, right? Like maybe the first line at first, like you don't even know what it means maybe when it first comes out, right? And then like maybe the images dance across the screen for, and that one remained the first line. I never cut it. Sometimes I will cut the first line, and but like that one just stayed. And then like what it came out to be about that, like what matters and what doesn't matter. But like no, I believe in like Ray Bradbury said, like catch the lightning, like kind of go with your subconscious thoughts, and like a lot of songwriters say, like the songs are so much smarter than me,
Right.
and I think
Yeah.
because our conscious mind can't. I don't think it's capable of doing the stuff our subconscious mind can do. And the conscious mind can help and it has a role, but not initially. I think initially for me, I have to just shut up my editor in the beginning and just sort of see, okay, here's what's emerging, and then I can do the editing stuff later, but not right away.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very commonly held feeling among songwriters. I won't say that it really drives what I do. I work a little differently, but that makes me all the more appreciative of what y'all that write more from the heart rather than from your music theory handbook can do.
Yeah.
Dark matter. So dark matter, the missing mass, 96% missing mass. It's interesting that again you translated that to those open lines with the little dropouts. You've got a melodic line, tita and tita and tita. So you got a little missing mass in those lines there, reflecting it again, driving your image with the guitar work as well as with the other thing. Again, conscious.
No, really not. Yeah, again, like I just have to sort of lean into it. I'm not that smart to to think of these things. I just have to sort of like go with it. And yeah, I mean, like actually, I think that's pretty brilliant, Mike. I never really thought about it that way at all, honestly. And I think you're absolutely right. But no, not conscious at all.
But the lyric,
I mean,
the
I think
lyric
what was
is,
conscious was that like I backed off afterwards, like on some of the guitar, like I kind of had a a feeling. I think that less was more on that one. So,
Yes.
but yeah.
And that is exactly what I'm accusing you of. It doesn't matter the order in which it happens. The matter is that you're engaging your own music with your own internal analysis, whether you think of it as being in the back of
Mm,
your mind or the front of your mind, however whatever horse you ride, you get there.
mm, yeah.
It's good. And I think it's a lot of your stuff. I just have the sense that I want to use the genius level on, label on it. It's
Oh, thank you.
really,
Wow,
really
wow, wow,
good
wow.
stuff.
That's a
Really
huge
cool.
honor.
I really
I
like the
think you
dark
are
matter.
absolutely right, though, and you said it in a way that I never quite thought of it like this before, Mike. So I really appreciate you kind of thinking this out for me, because you're right. It's sort of like a little bit of a dance, isn't it? Like we go back and forth, and I
Precisement.
like
Yeah.
that. I like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly true. Yeah. And the other thing is, if you ever feel like you need another verse in there, don't forget
Hmm.
that the dark matter is passing through you right now, all the time.
All the time, it's like going through us. I know. It's
It's
crazy.
missing, but it's missing, but it's not missing.
Well, there is that line, "Shadows through our soul."
Yeah, I
So.
picked that up,
Hmm. Hmm.
but if you ever continue to play with the idea, yeah, keep working
Hmm.
on that part of it too. How's
It's
Music Matters
fascinating.
going? How's the showcase going?
It's going really well. We had a great showcase last night. We're actually featuring two of the acts who are here tonight. So we get to do this twice in a row, and what of a
Right.
treat is that? With Diane, Diane was there, and Black Door 74 was there just last night. So we get to have
Cool.
fun all weekend.
Elite stuff. Yeah, I have to hook up and come play on that again sometime. I had a lot of fun doing that before.
Oh,
Okay,
I'd love to
folks,
have you back,
Joseph
Mike.
Isaac's Music Matter. I'm shouting it out to everybody here. It's a good bunch of people. They're very welcoming. They're very kind. And Joseph, always glad to see you here. Hope you'll be back soon. And we will turn you back over to Steve now.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. You guys are great. I love the atmosphere here.
I was having trouble unmuting, but I've got it now. Joseph, it was good to hear you. I'm beginning to understand why you're famous.
Famous might be stretching it, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Why not? Let's be famous today.
And of course, please come back. On
Thank
deck,
you.
we have Ron Smith. And Ron Smith has this VOM virtual open mic thing in Baltimore, Maryland that he does. It's called Rob's VOM. So you can look for his work there, and you can listen to him right now. Take it away, Ron.
Sweet. All right. Here I am. um, 6 dead trees, a pale blue sky. 6 blackbirds perched way up high. In a moment, off they fly. 6 trees standing by. Now and then a cooling breeze blowing through the leafy trees. There's shades of green, there's shade below. It's all a part of the flow. Oh, it's a flow. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slow. You can try to tell it no, but you will go with the flow. Old man sits with his guitar, He's writing music bar by bar. As he does, he's finding out what this flow is about. Weeks go by, a month or two. Trucks roll up, a chainsaw crew, and underneath a pale blue sky, 6 dead trees say goodbye. It's a flow. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slow. Yeah, you can try to tell it no, but you will go with the flow.
Very nice.
Gonna make me cry.
Thank you.
Loving that, Ron. Loving it.
Okay, this is kind of fun. I just flipped the capo around the other side, and I got a different tuning and a different song.
Magic.
This one, speaking of dark matter, this song is pretty dark. It's about my dad, and I think I'm the only one of our whole family that ever got to be this specific about what it was like living with him and without him and so forth. Been dead for a good number of years, but if it's too personal or too dark, I apologize. Memories of my childhood, they are not pretty, Dad. We both know that you were pretty much the reason why. Yeah, first you made a family, and then you made it sad. Because of an old friend to whom you could not say goodbye. You had a friend in the bottle that you tried to hide somewhere, in a bush or in your car or in the basement, anywhere where you could slip away for a minute or two. Try to deaden the pain of being you. You were so charming and so funny when you were not drinking. We always hoped you'd stay sober, but that ship was always sinking. And it never would be long, we'd all be swimming for the shore. And the charming and the funny followed you right out that door, to your friend in the bottle that you tried to hide somewhere, in a bush or in your car or in the basement, anywhere where you could slip away for a minute or two. Try to deaden the pain of being you. I really wanted to love you, Dad. I wanted you to love me too. How did you ever let it get so bad that drinking was all you could do. Yeah, looking back, I realize you did the best you could. There was something in your life I could have never understood. But your negative example did not turn out all bad. Taught me what not to do when I became a dad. You had a friend in the bottle that you tried to hide somewhere, in a bush or in your car, or in the basement, anywhere where you could slip away for a minute or two. Try to deaden the pain of being you. Oh, being you.
Ron, I want to thank you for having the courage to tell a story that is not unlike so many others that are not shared.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. And by the way, I love your finger picking.
thanks.
So now I'm going to let you talk to Mike Simpson, which will be a lot of fun. It always is.
Cool.
So take it away, Mike.
Well, I would, but you stole all my lines. So, but I'll just repeat them. Okay, so the first song, you know, obviously you are part of the folk tradition. You are an unashamed folk style singer-songwriter. And you know it's good to hear it. We do other things in here, but that's kind of where the roots are, you know, for this show. And the images from right off the top on that, the trees, the birds, all those things. These not stark exactly, but really clear cut. You know, almost like what's that thing where they cut the black paper out and they make a picture out of it? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
One of those kind of deals. Folk music really leans on this, and then so you've got that. We're getting that, and we're following on there, and then this ever shifting but really steady finger picking, which I must agree with Steve, you do brilliantly. Really carries us along. How do you assemble these things? How do these things come together for you?
Well, it all started, we were sitting out on the balcony, my wife and I. We've got a little balcony on our apartment. And there are these 6 dead trees across the street that have been there since we moved in about a year and a half, a little more ago. And we've commented during windstorms and ice storms and stuff like that those things are going to come down on that house. So that just sort of been a subject of contemplation. But we're out there that morning, and sometimes I take just a piece of a little notebook and a fountain pen, and I just start looking around and writing what I see. And that's where I started with. That's what I started with was the 6 dead trees, and it just struck me that the birds would fly over there and then just fly off, and so just sort of went from there. And it's like kind of like what Joe said, what Hank said too. It is kind of like archaeology. It's like you really don't meet the song until the song meets you or something. I don't know. It's like,
yeah, the archaeology thing. I thought of that as well when you were playing, because one of the things about archaeologists that I always admired was the degree to which they'll use a toothbrush or a tiny little soft brush on a great big dinosaur bone and making sure they don't damage the core of what they're doing. And that applies, I think, very strongly to your guitar work. You're kind of doing like a doctor. Do no harm to the lyric. Do no harm to the sense of the song. What you're doing. But but still got to tug at us and make us feel it as you move it. I think you did a good job on that. Again, folkies and songwriters, as Steve said, I think what I had written down was that we carry a responsibility to tell the hard stories.
Mm-hmm.
So many other people do share them. I certainly resonated with this song. How do you balance telling the hard stuff and leaving enough bright spots or uplifting spots in the lyric and in the song to make people want to hear it again?
Well, I try not to say too much. And not drill down too hard on anything. But when I was back in high school, for crying out loud, on the newspaper staff at my high school newspaper, they talked a lot about white space, making sure that people get a chance to fill in rather than just, filling them just a torrent of words. And so I really try to do that in my music as much as I can, make it more suggestive than just narrative or just informative or something.
Yeah, I really appreciate what you said there. That's a critical part of what you do, and one of the things I picked up on was actually an example of that. The phrase that I was just sure was coming at one point was "that ship has sailed," but
Mm-hmm.
no, it was "that ship's sinking." And all of a sudden, my brain and my heart were engaged with feeling and seeing that. And did I recognize that? Yes, I did.
Yeah.
That's the white space work being done very, very well. Yeah. What's happening in terms of performance stuff for you? You playing out some or?
Well, I've been doing that virtual open mic out of Baltimore. I've been doing that every week. We just got a lot of other stuff going on with our family and with my health and different things that, it's hard to get out and do a heck of a lot. I keep trying to get back to Joe's Music Matters and things come and intervene. But
Yeah. Know the feeling.
yeah, but I do. Well, like I say, I had a real rough patch here the last couple of months. Wasn't really up to playing out, out in public at all.
Okay.
So
Well, sorry to hear that, and let me say that I have no question that I am not alone in wishing you the best in that, and hoping that things
Thank you
go
very much.
better for you and all that. And thank you for taking the time and spending the energy to join us here. We're privileged to have you. That was a beautiful set you did. Thank you very much. We'll see you
Thank you.
again soon, I hope.
all right, I love your shirt, by the way. If you ever decide to get rid of that, let me know and I'll buy it off you.
No. It was a gift from my lady love, so
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it.
yeah, thank you.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Off we go to Steve. Back to Steve.
Thank you again, Ron, for a fine performance. Now we're moving on to Zoch, whose favorite venue for performing is Open Mic America. So,
This is our first time. Yeah, thank you.
so we're proud and thrilled to have you here, and we're looking forward to what you're going to perform for us. So go for it.
Well, thank you so much. My name is Zoch. Back here accompanying me is my partner Vince. We're going to play some of our songs for you tonight. This one is a song about addiction and affliction. It's called How It Feels. Hit me like a pick. Can't bring myself to go outside. Don't know what to say or do. Can't find the words right now. Just a little prick. Close my eyes and try to hide. Like a cellular LA, I watch you dance across the skeletons that sleeves reveal. Secrets talk too soon. Are you? Are you too blind to see what is right in front of you? Will you? And I as they bring me out the door. Are you too blind to see what is right in front of you? Will you, and only you, tell me how it feels and what it is you're going through? Spinning around, I'm on the ground, sky's coming down, I'm gonna drown. I know I'm moving slow, 'cause I don't know where to go. It's my disease, I'm on my knees, I'm begging please, I'm gonna breathe. I'm shining through, reaching out to you. Everything's alright, nothing left to cry about. The rabbit hole is calling you to climb back in. I know, hold on to the rope, I promise not to let it go. Memories to help you breathe and save you from the fall. Are you too blind to see what is right in front of you? Will you, and only you, tell me how it feels and what it is you're going through? Will you, tell me how it feels and what it is you're going through? Will you, only you, tell me how it feels, tell me how it
Oh,
feels. Thank you. All right, we're going to play another song for you. That one was kind of a newer one, you know. We've been recently writing some new stuff, so we're trying out some new songs. But this next one is off our last album, which was called The Artist Mansfield. And this song is about frustration. That's all I can say. So it's called Fade Away. Write down all the things I know. My head is ready to explode. I'm spinning round and round, and I can't hear a sound. I need a drink to breathe. rock and I like we songs are mostly like electric kind of songs. So we try our best to scale it down for you.
Well, that was an impressive performance, Soch.
Oh, thank you so much. You're so sweet. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your talent with us. And now we're going to take a little break, and we're going to let retired motorcycle racer, and guitar builder and media mogul via the Open Mic America program. His name is Capo Dave Williams, and he's going to spend a few minutes talking about his I guess, is it a vocation now, or is it just an avocation?
Oh, Steve, before we do that, let's let Mike interview Zoch.
Oh my goodness. I got carried away with yes.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. Okay, Mike, let me put you in the spotlight there.
Okay, everybody save my introduction to Dave and rerun it in your mind after this. I'm the new kid. I'm
Right?
All right, Zoch. Nice
Hi.
stuff. You and your partner there rocked out, and it was lovely. I strongly suspect that you know how to spell girl with 3 R's. It's good stuff, man. It's interesting to me. On your website or whatever that I looked at online, it was talking about that you range from solo performance to full-on electric band, and I think I probably share with everybody else. I can certainly hear you there with the band roaring behind you. But you got really good motor from your partner. That Guild 12 string and him there are banging it out beautifully. Very nicely done, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Now let's talk about the song. These songs are a little different in form from what we've heard so far.
Sure.
Marvelous energy in the lyric, and the melody also has that energy, and that translates immediately to the performance. So a couple of questions about that. Are you looking for that when you go into writing the melody, writing the lyric? And then you can couple that with answering the second question: how do you divide the songwriting and arranging work between the two of you?
All right. Well, no, I never really kind of go in with like a specific energy or a set way. It's just kind of the song kind of dictates the energy, and I don't know. I just sort of get a certain oomph when I perform, so everything kind of just comes out more intensified for that reason. I don't know. I feel like I don't ever want to be a boring person. I always think of myself as when I'm watching somebody on stage, or I want to see them be themselves, but be interesting and engaging. And I try to do all those things and encompass all those things. With regards to writing, sometimes we write the chords first. Sometimes the lyrics come first, the melody. Sometimes it's just la la la, like not even words, just a melody. It really just depends on the song. And no two songs that we've written have come out the same way, or have started the same process.
Even though I'm playing the guitar for the most part and she's singing, sometimes she bangs out a chord arrangement on the piano that starts the song.
Yeah.
Because she plays a little piano. Sometimes the mandolin starts the song. Sometimes it's the guitar. Sometimes it's a poem. And then we collaborate with our ideas, and sometimes it's tense and sometimes it's a lot of fun, and eventually we come up with a song, and that's what happens.
I think it only really gets tense because both of us really want the best thing for the song. We really serve the song. It's like kind of our purpose is like we're just here to like give the message and get the story and the point across, but we serve the song. The song tells us what is really there.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Another term for that that's often used is selling out to the song. Letting it have its head, doing that kind of thing. Yeah, first off, I don't think you need to be too concerned about being boring. And secondly, I was going to ask you about if a piano played in there, because there's a lot of stuff that reminds me of some of the Billy Joel stuff in there, where you've got the box chords elevated to an actual melodic component, being used in against the melody and stuff. That was very cool. Also, lyrically, on the second song, I really dug the fading part of the fire image. That to me, that encapsulates the emotion of frustration very nicely. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's good. All right, we'll see you back here in your next time. This is your first time here. Congratulations, and by the way, welcome home.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
much. We couldn't pick a favorite venue because, we really haven't been, out and about. A lot of our venues where we are now are kind of up in the air and closing down. So we've gone to a couple of open mics, Music Makers being one, this one being one, and I'm so glad that we discovered you guys. And we've also tried out Black Snake, which is in Statsburg, New York as well, they're very nice and encouraging to many young performers. So we're very excited. We're checking things out, and we're so glad that we're here to be a part of this. So thank you for having us.
Well, good. Hope to see you here again sometime. All right, Steve, we all remember your introduction. Motorcycle, young gentleman, makes guitars. On we go.
Yeah, Capo Dave is an amazing guy. So I'm just going to let him have it now. You've all heard the spiel that I had for him. So go ahead, Dave. Tell us.
Well, thanks, Steve. I appreciate that. And we have a guitar giveaway on Open Mic America. What that means is that everybody who plays on Open Mic America, every time you play on the show, you get a ticket that goes in the punch bowl. And at the end of the year, a drawing is made and you'll win one of the guitars that I build. And these guitars are, they're unusual. In fact, you can search on Google and you won't find a guitar that's constructed this way with string configuration. I kind of stumbled upon it, but the starting point for my design was probably the closest guitar to it with the guitars that Django Reinhardt played, the gypsy jazz guitars, flat tops, but flat tops that had a floating bridge. And those old-timey guitars with the floating bridges, whether they were arch tops or flat tops, you might have heard Mother Maybelle Carter playing those old Gibson L5s. They're very loud, but they're very clangy, very clangy. And when I started to build guitars, I noticed how strong the sound was, but it was very clangy. So I made it a mission to try to get the clanginess out of a guitar like this. So I built 31 of them. And I started to figure it out around number 21. I started to soften the tone and everything, but they were guitars with the floating bridge, but they have the tailpiece. You guys know what a tailpiece is, the metal thing that goes down over the bottom. And all of a sudden, on a wild, I don't know what made me think of it, but I started to think about regular guitars, how the strings go over the saddle and then they go right down in the body where the pins are. So you have the strings are pulling on the top, they're jerking it sideways. There's a lot of stuff going on there, and consensus is that that's where most of the overtones of a flat top guitar come from. So I started thinking about it, and I thought, what if you could still have the floating bridge, but instead of having a tailpiece, have pins down at the bottom of the guitar where the strings could go in and contribute that input into the top. Just did it on a wild hair. I took one of the older guitars, took the top off, redid it. It worked. And right now I've built 4 like this, and I've searched on Google, and you can search the search unusual guitar designs. You won't find it. And it's simple enough, but evidently nobody's ever done it. Anyway, Steve and Mike have both bought these guitars. And Steve, I'd let you offer your opinion of the guitar.
I was just amazed, to be quite honest. To tell the whole story, I bought one of your earlier ones, and you and I talked about the clanginess, and we talked about the rest of the guitar, which was really fantastic. The neck was lovely. It was just a beautifully made guitar. And then I sent it back to you, and you tried your new method of connecting the strings on the top down close to where the tailpiece would be. And the guitar came back, and it's amazing. You spoke earlier on about making a guitar that Django Reinhardt would like, and I think you've achieved that purpose and maybe exceeded it. I have decided after playing your guitar a little bit that I'm never going to go to a jam session with any other guitar, because this guitar is got such clarity of sound and it's got so much volume. It's just it's the perfect instrument to compete with. So and it's a lovely sound. It's nothing like my other guitars, Martin, and they sound less impressive. Lovely to be sure. They're Martins, they're good guitars, but they're less impressive than the Dandy. It's an amazing instrument.
Thanks, Steve. And the crazy thing is, it was just an accident. It was just a wild idea I got, and nobody had done it. Of course, now there's a lot that's been done to the bracing on the inside of the guitar that I've refined, and this and that's some other stuff too. Not going to go into it here, but anyway, thanks for listening, and that's the deal. And by the way, the people that host the show also get tickets in the fishbowl. Mike Simpson, I happen to have counted up the number of times he's been on the show and hosted the show. He has between a 1 in 20 and a 1 in 25 chance of winning the guitar. He's like the odds-on favorite to win, and he already has one. So I don't know.
I'm not that patient.
Anyway, everyone, good luck to everyone. I've got your names on the slips, and going in the fishbowl tonight. So that's all about the Dandy guitars. And thanks for your nice comments, Steve. And I'll take it back to you and the show.
Okay, thank you, Dave. My comments about your guitar were well earned. So now we have Bill Van Jura is going to play for us, and I have to bring up the little note that I made about. Oh, come on now! I had it here, and then I. Okay, Bill, where are you playing? I've lost my.
Well, I'm going to be playing. There's a thing called the Third Friday at 78th Street Arts Fest on September 20th. They have it every month, so I'm really looking forward to that. My favorite open mic is a place called the Bop Stop, B-O-P Stop. I'm going to be playing on Dylan Night, so one of my songs has got to be a Dylan cover. Maybe the other songs I should sing like Dylan, you know. So
No, please don't.
I could do that tonight if you like. It'd be certainly unique.
Do your own thing, please.
Okay.
Yeah, please don't put yourself out for it.
Well, this first song is one I've written called Heart on My Sleeve. All right. I used to think that I could do this on my own, but you've become the best thing I've ever known. Deep inside, there's a part of me that never wants to leave. The office talk, the awkward jokes, the hidden doubts, the sideways glances I could frankly do without. It's all too much for a man who wears his heart on his sleeve. In your eyes, I see all I ever hope to be. It hurts so much when I see you every day. It might be better for us both to walk away, but then I'd be here all alone with my heart on my sleeve. want this to end. My heart will never mend. There may be more in this world you can achieve, but the love you give to me, I promise you'll receive. I believe it's time for us to make another start. Don't leave me here all alone in the dark. I stand before you open arms with my heart on my sleeve.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was lovely.
Thank you. Well, the next one I'm going to do, the last one, is kind of a locally inspired song. I live in Northeast Ohio by the Cuyahoga Valley National Park, Cuyahoga River, which actually translates into Crooked, the Crooked River. And so I wrote this song called Crooked River. It's begging for a pedal steel guitar, but you'll have to just put up with a harmonica tonight. Hold on. Here we go. There's a girl I remember. There's a place warm and tender. I remember when I feel so all alone. Green and wet, cool and shady, I can't forget a special lady. Crooked River, take me straight to my home. Take a chance, it's now or never. It's time to stand and deliver. Crooked River, take me back where I belong. Well, I got one thing to give her. It's my love, and that's forever. Crooked River, take me straight to my home. I thought that I could leave, but it's more than I can do. Please, Crooked River, lead me back to you. Take me back to the valley. Let me hold my darling Sally. And I swear that you'll never see me roam. Take me back, I've learned a lesson. Let me make a true confession. Crooked River, lead me straight to my home. Take a chance, it's now or never. It's time to stand and deliver. Crooked River, take me back where I belong. I got one thing to give her. It's my love, and that's forever. Crooked River, take me straight to my home. Take a chance, it's now or never. It's time to stand and deliver. Crooked River, take take me back where I belong. Though I got one thing left to give her, it's my love, and that's forever. Crooked River, take me straight to my home. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. The steel guitar would have been lovely. I just kept listening for that.
You have to imagine it.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. Okay. Cleveland Browns, are you perhaps a fan?
But yeah, maybe.
Okay.
It's sad. It's very sad, but yes, we are rabid fans up here.
Okay, I'm going to turn you over to Mike Simpson now, who will be interviewing you and probably be much more insightful than my observation of your fanship. Take it away, Mike.
Okay. It's hard to get more insightful than you, though, you know? Really.
Oh, come on.
Cleveland Browns, they are they National League or American League?
They're American League. Toughest division in football.
Oh, football. They're a football team. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I'm just yanking your chain. You guys have a running back that I just drafted this morning there for my fantasy team. So one of the things I noticed that you pointed out in your online presence was that you alternate or you split when you play between covers and originals. Now, I understand the primary reason that we as songwriters do covers is because we want people to not leave, and they like to hear what they know, and doing a Beatles song can affect the tip jar in a positive manner, and all that. But I know the answer to this question for myself. I've thought about it considerably, actually, and I'd like to hear your take. What do you find is, both for you and for the audience, the emotional difference in quality between performing covers and performing originals?
Well, first of all, I mean, I enjoy a good cover song. I don't do them grudgingly. I only pick, at this point in my life, I only play what I enjoy playing. You know what I mean? So I'm invested emotionally in a cover song if I'm going to do it, and I change it up a little bit to do it the way I particularly want to do it. But the answer to your question depends totally on the venue. There are places where it is as quiet, like for instance at the Bop Stop, where the audience is totally invested in your creative song that you have come up with. They want to hear it. They want to listen to it. It's like this. It's like this. And then there are and that will make me become a better performer because I know that people are listening to me. Mm-hmm. Then there's other venues where you are kind of glorified background music. And I understand that, I appreciate that. They don't want me to be overwhelming their conversations or things like that. And in those situations, I generally do one cover to two originals because I figure they're not listening that closely anyway. So I might as well enjoy myself. So I will do a cover and they'll hear the Beatles, they'll hear a Beatles song or they'll hear a Van Morrison song or something. And maybe I'll use that to draw them in to try to listen to a couple of my own originals. So to answer your question, it depends on the venue.
To keep going on that line a little bit, do you ever write with a conscious intent of writing an original that can be heard and listened to in a bar?
I do not.
You never done that? Yeah.
I do not. I mean, I've written songs. I've written songs where I thought, well, this would work well in a loud environment,
Right. Well,
but it wasn't a conscious effort.
Okay. It's just afterwards you see it. Yeah, you ought to try it. You've got quite a range. I've heard you, before a few times. So you've got quite a range in what you can put out there. In terms of guitar skills and vocal skills and that kind of thing. I'd love to see you write something where you're writing to the bar audience with the intent that you might catch their attention. That would be a interesting thing to hear. Play it here and let me know if you ever do that. Heart on My Sleeve. Songs about exposure, particularly emotional exposure, by men, used to be really uncommon. And now that they're more common, I'm not always impressed by how well done they are. But this one impressed me. This notion that having your heart on your sleeve, that this wear and tear of your passage through life, and the pain that's involved, and the risk that it has of breaking down relationships. Where did that idea come from?
This song started out as a challenge song to myself. I tuned my guitar in Dadgad because I'd never written a song in that tuning before, and I left the guitar in that tuning and forced myself to just keep playing with it and playing with it and playing with it until I had a progression that I liked. The title, Heart on My Sleeve, had come independently of that, and I thought, well, that's an interesting song, and it could go in a lot of different directions. And I didn't really know what the song was about until halfway through. The song ended up being about meeting the woman who would become my wife. I mean, it was not at all planned, but about halfway through the song, I went, oh, this is about my wife. That's what this song's about. Right. So then it became easier to finish the song because in that kind of relationship, there was a certain risk-taking and a kind of a nervousness and anxiety, that I can easily go back to and remember the emotional roller coaster of that part of my life. So that song ended up being about her.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting how our relationships, particularly when you get to the level that you're using the word wife or husband, your spouse, it's amazing how they saturate us, and that song, revealed that very nicely. The second song, this was more like what I've heard from you before, and I just want to say, anything you have for us in terms of wisdom, or just experiential learning on how you draw from your surround, because you do that a lot in your music. The what's going on around you comes up and it's an exposition in your songs and stuff. Do you agree that it's very common in your songwriting?
That song came out of an idea when I was biking through the Cuyahoga Valley, and I thought, I want to do a song cycle on the Cuyahoga Valley. So I ended up writing about 6 or 7 songs that were consciously about the Cuyahoga Valley and places. It became a whole summer thing where I would bike to a certain area and kind of sit there and take photographs and use it to kind of get inspiration to write a song about it. And this was just one of those. I came up with the idea to do something about the Crooked River, but I had this idea in my head that it was going to be a 4/4 song, really fast, really exciting, bouncy song, catchy song, and it was not working. And it was one of those weird moments where you were like falling asleep between awake and asleep, and the song came in 3/4 time, waltz time, and it came with the chorus. And I woke up and I said, well, I guess I better wake up and write this song because it came to me that way.
The muse is speaking, time to listen.
Yeah, it was just one of those weird things where after about 2 weeks of just beating my head against the wall, this song is not sounding natural. It's not sounding authentic. And then falling asleep, and the song just came out and said, this is what I'm supposed to be.
All right. Well, I'm glad you listened to it because it's a really good song.
Thank you.
Really. Very nice to have you here again. And I don't know, you've been here, half a dozen times maybe?
No, just one other time.
Oh, just one other time. Oh,
yeah, just one other time. This is my second time.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's on a different person's name. Yeah, okay, good. Well, that's 2. and on to infinity. Yeah, you know, it's great to see you. Thanks, and we will see you again sometime soon. Here is Steve to carry us onward.
Bill, thanks again. I enjoyed your music immensely. But now it's time for Diane Battistello. And if I can get the computer to work, Diane Battistello. Well, there's Diane Bat's open mic. How about that?
Well, that's my list of open mics.
Oh,
Hi,
that's
Steve.
that's your list. Okay, I thought maybe you had your own, and I thought, well, that'd be pretty impressive. Anyway, the list includes the Hearing Room online. That's Tuesday nights. Mediator Stage live in Providence, Rhode Island. Brew Brew live in Raynham, Massachusetts, and North Reading Community Coffee House, North Reading, Massachusetts, and Music Matters Online. So it seems that your fans have lots of opportunities here to chase you down and listen to your music, and that's a wonderful thing. So why don't you just go ahead and give us some of that?
Thank you. Now, Steve, you pronounce those towns like you're from Massachusetts.
Dude, I grew up in Wisconsin. I live in California, but I talk funny. So it's,
a lot of people don't get Rainham and they don't get North Reading. They say North Reading. Hi, everybody. I'm going to jump in where Ron left off. Sometimes I wish sometimes I wish I was somewhere else when I'm sitting here with you. Spend a lot of time sitting here, and some days there's other things I'd rather do. But I know a day will come, and you won't be here. And I'll be sitting all alone in this house, and I'll be in tears. So until that day, I'll come by with my coffee in the morning. We'll argue over politics, if there's really global warming. And the dogs will run, and the river will rise. You and I will go out back and pick peaches in the September skies. September skies. September skies. And I'll still have those days when there's other things that I'd rather do. Chances are most of those days you'll find me sitting right here next to you. And we'll watch the we'll watch the dogs run. We'll watch the dogs run, and we'll watch the river rise. You and I will go out back and pick peaches in the September skies. September skies. September skies.
Very sweet.
Oh, thank you. You know, I used to be able to play that song with no problems at all. And this last month, and we're coming into peach season, I've been messing it up all the time. And I think my dad's like behind me going, oh. So, I don't know. So I'm going to take a chance on this song. It's kind of a new song. And I did it last night at Joe's. And I added a bridge to it today, and I keep changing it every day, so I don't really know what's gonna happen, but it's like right in my head, so we're gonna try it. And it's about voting. Take a good look all around you. Look everywhere you go. See the power grab from City Hall to the Senate floor, from your child's classroom to the grocery store. Oh, take a good look all around you. Look everywhere you go. Who controls the public parks, pension funds, healthcare, and what time the trains will run? Oh, who makes the rules for who gets what? Who picks the when and the how? I'm sure that you know by now, and I'm asking you, hey, let's make a vow, let's use our voice, our power, our votes. Our voice, our power, our votes. Our freedoms, our future, it's up to me and to you. So let's use our voice, our power, our votes. Find ourselves at a crossroad. Our democracy is on the line. It's up to each and every one of us to say what's on our minds. So let's use our voice, our power, our votes. Our voice, our power, our votes. Our freedom, our future, it's up to me and to you. So let's use our voice, our power, our votes. Take a good look all around you. Look everywhere you go. Whose voting rights are being chipped away? Whose liberty is growing weaker day by day? Take a good look all around you. Look everywhere you go. Do you see equality and the right to choose? Or bigotry and guns in schools? Oh, who makes the rules on who gets what? Who picks the when and the how? I know you know the how, and I'm asking you, come on, let's make a vow. Let's use our voice, our power, our votes. Our voice, our power, our votes. Our freedoms, our future, it's up to me and to you. So let's use our voice, our power, our votes.
Thank you so much for expressing that. I have done so in a far more clumsy way with great frequency, but I appreciate the gentleness with which you've promulgated that message.
Thank you.
That's quite lovely. I'm going to turn you over to Mike Simpson now, and he's going to dig a little deeper.
Okey-doke.
Mike?
All right, Diane, good to
Hi,
see you
Mike.
again. How you doing?
Good to see you. Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So on your web presence that I looked at, I found a song there that I don't know that you've done here, but I hope you will someday. It's got a title, something like Gold something in Tin.
Gold, diamonds, and tin ore.
Tin
so
ore,
I wrote
yeah.
that. I wrote that about the work in the Congo. I actually wrote it about the computer chips, but I did sing it recently once about the electric cars because they're extracting minerals for the cars. It's a cobalt extracting minerals from the mines in Africa, and the people, they don't have decent shoes, they don't have safety protection, they're just like being forced to work in the mines. And what happens there is officials, or people who say they're officials, some of them dress up like police, and some of them dress up like I don't know, owners of the companies, and everybody's all in different uniforms, so you don't really know who's who. But what they're doing is they're taking the gold, and they're hightailing, they're stealing it. After people dig it up, they say, I'm the boss, I'll take it, and they take it away. So with the cars, when they made legislation to take the cobalt, they should have added legislation to protect the workers. And I think that people are working on that right now. But I think China right now is getting most of the minerals for the electric cars. So I will do that. I'll do that the next time I come. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Because one of the things I like in your songwriting is the way you'll take disparate elements and link them and show us causes from results. Sort of rather than inductive rather than deductive, sort of thinking. And you do that in that song talking about the child soldiers in the Congo, which is a thing that frankly particularly angers me. And you also mentioned their 25-year hiatus. What caused you to put down the songwriting, and what caused you to pick it back up again?
Oh, I went to college. I started college when I was 28. I graduated when I was 44.
Okay.
So I didn't do much music on that time. I was working days and going to school nights.
Yeah. All right.
It was
And
fun.
then
I'm glad I did, because I took up speech writing in school. So I became a speech writer, and that helps me with my songwriting.
Well, no doubt. Yeah. And you make your points very much like a speechwriter sometimes. What caused you to pick the songwriting back up again?
I was listening to Carolyn Myss, M-Y-S-S. She's an American philosopher. And I used to listen to a lot of her stuff. And one day she said, everybody's got to have harmony in their life. And I don't know, that just struck a chord with me. And I went and opened the closet, pulled the guitar out, put some new strings on it, and went back to work. And I've been very fortunate to have some really good teachers. I find people who let me bring my music in, and they'll work with me with one song, 2 songs. Sometimes I'll stay 6 months or whatever. But so a lot of the music that I come up with or that I present has been, inspired by some of the music teachers that I've studied with.
Cool. Well, Carolyn Myss, we share a person that we are fond of in Sacred something, and she writes
Sacred Contracts.
Yeah, Sacred Contracts. Yeah, that was a good book. I liked that book. And then I heard her speak once whilst I was in college at UC Santa Cruz, and she talked about in whatever you're doing when you're communicating with people, one of the things that everybody recognizes is that we're human beings, and we have joys and we have pains. And she says you need to make the most of your pain by sharing it so everyone can learn and be healed by it. And you do that very well in your music. That's a very Carolyn Myss sort of thing to do. It's great.
Thank you.
And I like the risk taking there. It's both evocative and educational to all of us as songwriters to go ahead and try it. The answer is yes, not no. Can I do this? Well, maybe not. There might be a no in there, possibly, but it's not wrong to have tried it.
I'm doing a festival on September 14th, and I have to do it I don't have to, but I want to. We're going to be outside, and, so.
You're driven to do it.
Well, it's election time, so if I don't get it done now,
well, afterwards it diminishes the effect, right?
Yeah. So thanks for being a safe place,
Yeah, that we are. It's one of the absolute keys to what we do here. I am glad to hear you again, and I hope that the thing on the 15th goes well and that your effect is as great as your heart. I hope that comes out nicely for you.
Thank you so much. Good to see you again, Mike.
Yeah, good to see you
Nice to
too.
be here
All
at
right.
Open Mic America again.
Yep. Here's Steve coming back to host us up.
Diane, thank you so much. I'm rating you as a meaningful contributor to this show, and I hope to see you again in the future, often, dare I say. But now we move on to Black Door 74, and that includes Rigo and Rodman and an anonymous guy playing the drums. I don't know why he didn't get listed, but anyway,
that's the best description of our drummer. Is an anonymous guy playing the drums. That's Greg Frost Arnold. So yes, and he is an analytic philosopher. So maybe afterwards people can talk to him about life and the universe and everything else.
So I've been silly enough. Go ahead, guys, take it away.
We have a couple of original songs that we're going to play through. We've been writing all weekend. We're working on songs for our second CD.
Oh, but I forgot to mention your, I have this ADHD thing, I just, I'm sorry.
No worries.
It is what it is. But it says here that you perform at Luthier's Co-op, which sounds fascinating to me. Workshop 13, which is another interesting kind of title, and the Peter Shem Jams. So, and you have a record. And if anyone wants to go to www.blackdoor74band.com, then they'll be able to hear all three of you, I trust. So, and now it's our turn to hear all three of you. So, take it away. And I'm sorry for the delay, and go for it.
Hey, Rigo and Rodman, I'm going to kick in here and say that I think maybe the one main volume, or the main volume knob that's over everything, should be turned up a little bit. You're awful quiet on the mics.
Okay, let's try this. How is that?
That's better. Now everybody play what they're playing. Just play a couple of notes so I can judge that. I don't care if they're the same song or not. I see you're good. Thank you. All right, you're good. You're good.
Okay. I hope all this waiting is worth it for everybody online. So again, we're Black Door 74. This is a song called Secret Smoker. There was a time in my life when I was a secret smoker. I was a smoker and I didn't want people to know. I did all kinds of stuff. I hid cigarettes in the glove compartment of my car. I put on cologne and stuff after smoking to try to mask the smell, but none of it ever worked. It never worked. Smoke. My car smelled like smoke. My clothes smelled like smoke. My hair smelled like smoke. Just everywhere. And there are people who try to hide stuff about themselves. There are people who, talk about love when they have hate in their heart. And there are people who talk about peace when their mind is fixed in war and in violence. And this is a song about those folks.
secret smoker. Hey, it's the air you pretend, but the smell's always there. In the back alleyways where no one sees the poisoned haze, to keep the faces of your life apart, pin the flower over your heart, secret smoker. You pretend, but the smell's always there, secret smoker. Hey, it's the air you pretend, but the smell's always there. Hoping no one follows to see you in the shadows you light up with under the spark, but your silhouette, it shows in the dark, secret smoker. The smell's always there, secret smoker. Hey, it's the air you pretend, but the smell, it's always there.
Yeah, very nice.
How you do it?
Thanks, folks. So this next song is a song that Greg brought to the group and that we finished together. This is also a new song that we're hoping will be on our second album. It's called Plastic Telephone. In the night, because my body knows something isn't right. Reach into a cold and empty space. Even so, I feel the trace. Then my chest gets tight. Wake up in the moon, listen to the saddest emo tunes. Wishing January become June. You're not there, and empty chair. This despair can't end too soon. Let's live to 103. I still can't believe this happened to me. Don't know why it did, but it did. Unperfect is impossible. If say la vie, let's live to 103. I still can't believe this happened to me. I don't know why it did, but it did. It did.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
And
Well, thank you guys. That was somewhere in the background, you had me thinking about Jefferson there. Now I'm kind of getting into Mike Simpson stuff, so I'm going to turn you over to him, and he can find out about what you're all. Go ahead, Mike. Take it away.
all right, thank you. Hey, first off, let's just talk about mad skills. When you run into a band that can work in a room that looks like that and cross the stage and all those wires and no one fell, I mean, that right there is just, world-beating levels of capacity right there. And not only that, you got a guitarist who can adjust his pedals to handle all the weaknesses in Zoom. That's nice too. These guys rock, pretty hard, and it's difficult to do that there. But you successfully capture the essential nature of the rock and roll that you're playing, while living in an environment that's not.
I just wondered if you're still there or not.
I didn't hear that, but I don't know who was talking. Anyway, so the musicians in Black Door 74 met, and this is off their brag sheet, while working together in upstate New York.
A little bit more to go.
Okay, let's see. Hang on a second here. I'm going to mute Steve here. He's on the phone and unmuted. Okay, done. You guys met in upstate New York. You bonded over their shared passions for sound, rhythm, and music. I would like each of you to explain a little bit about how those aren't just general terms, but what specifically that might mean to you, because you say that creates meaning. So if you can talk about that. And then each member brings a mashup of musical influences to the band's aesthetic. The result is a unique musical journey. I agree with that. So if you can go one at a time, hit the mic and talk about your influences and how sound, rhythm, and music, how you create in songwriting, how you create meaning using those things. And we'll go with the Aristotle here first.
There you go. Exactly. Each one of us is a songwriter. We each contribute songs to the band, and we write together also. I think that's something that's different about us versus
And guys,
other
crank
bands.
that mic up. Crank it up. The elfin delicacy of Rodman's voice was being lost there.
There you go.
There we go.
I should be doing movie trailers coming to a theater near you. So we are all songwriters. We all write songs individually and bring them to the band, but we also write together as a group. We spent most of the weekend writing songs together for our second album. But in terms of the question at hand, some bands are like they're a country band, or they're a pop band, or they're an alt country band. We don't have a specific niche that we're trying to. We write a lot of different kinds of songs in a lot of different kinds of styles. But the most important thing is that those songs are true. Greg wrote Plastic Telephone about his feelings about being away from his loved one, and having this little tiny device that connects him. So the things that we try to capture in music and rhythm and in things like that are true, genuine human experiences. One thing, I just as the bassist in the band, I've got a lot of freedom, and we use the bass in a lot of different ways. It's not just kind of they're playing root notes and things like that. It's an equal part of the music that we create, along with the drums and with the guitar and vocals. So, right over.
Okay, before I let you go, I
Yeah.
just want to say that you're in the presence of an interviewer who knows what your shirt is, because many, many, many years ago, I was on the team that ported that to the original PlayStation.
Nice. Wow. I'm in the presence of greatness. Thank you for your service. So I'm Greg. I play the drums, but I also, like Rod was just saying, I play the guitar and the bass too, and we write our songs together. I don't know, my main musical influences are basically probably punk rock and post-punk stuff from the 80s and 90s. But really anything that has energy and a little bit of fuck you in it is my like favorite kind of music, and like what the music I find most meaningful. And like I think exactly like Rod was saying, we've never talked about this, so I'm glad you asked this question. But like for me, like Rod said, I'm a philosopher. I think a lot about science and like trying to get the truth about the world and stuff. But like I feel like a real difference between art and science can be that like art is about trying to capture like what it's like to be a human being living in the world and how that feels, just from a particular kind of point of view. And that's not something that you get like in science and stuff. And so that's one of the ways that when we talk about making meaning in the music, that for me is what the hell that means. I mean, I bet it means different things for different people, but for me it's like, yeah, just trying to like articulate almost like in a diary-like way what it's like to be a person living in this weird world that we're living in.
Well said, sir.
So I'll riff off of what Greg said. And so when I have my intellectual hat on, I think about meaning as something that's central to the human career. I don't know how else to say it. It's something that humans are capable of, and that I think we do all the time, consciously and unconsciously. And when I'm wearing my artist hat, I think to myself, how can I use whatever aesthetic form I'm tinkering with to do that in an intentional way? How can I take something like a rhythmic or a chordal progression or something that registers to people as music and try to capture something of the emotions that I feel or an experience that I've had in a way that shares that and imbues it with significance? Because at the end of the day, I think that's what the arts do is take experience, and sometimes it's something that's foundational to who we are. Sometimes it's a fleeting thing that turns out to be symbolic and that encapsulates an entire idea or an entire way of living. And that's what I'm aiming for in basically all that I do is how can I use aesthetic forms to create meaning in that sense? In terms of influences, I since I was a kid, I've listened to just stuff from all over the world. I grew up with a dad who really liked norteño music, it's called. It's music that you find in northern Mexico and southern Texas, Tejano music. I listened to a lot of the big 50s stuff. I love the Drifters. I listen to blues. I like contemporary hip hop and stuff from the 80s forward in the world of hip hop. Just, I mean, everything that feels like this person set out to say something about their experience and to capture something and elevate that experience so that other people could feel it too, I'm into.
And for the audience out there, I just want to point out, if norteño music is something you're not familiar with, you can look up a band called Los Lobos. They're probably the most popularly, widely known expositors of norteño music. Yeah.
I'll just say something very, very quickly about influences. The first two records that I ever bought was Papa's Got a Brand New Bag, 45 single by James Brown, and the record of the Edmund Fitzgerald. So that kind of gets you the headspace that I'm in.
Yeah, very similar. Okay, you know, guys, again, to the audience, that hum you hear in the background is the fact that there's not enough space in the room for all the intellects in it when these three are standing in the same spot, because these are some very smart people, philosophers, educators, and more. And I really want to rename their band. I told them before that I wasn't gonna say what I thought that they should call their band, but I'm gonna reveal now that I want to name you guys the agonistic polymaths. And thank you guys so much for coming again and playing for us. We hope to hear you again soon.
So great to be with you all. Thank you.
All right, very good. Steve, I'm turning it back over to you.
And my thanks to you guys as well. It's that was a fine show, and I'm just not only astonished by the depth of what you have putting your music together, but I'm also impressed. But Mike Simpson is a great interviewer. Not anyone else would have thought to take you guys apart and set you individually and have you explain what you're all about. And that's just a fascinating thing. So this is part of what makes this show great. And I'm proud to be connected to it, even though I'm the new kid. So next we have Ann Sandstrom from Burlington, Massachusetts. And I have a little note here that I have to switch to, which says that her favorite open mic is North Reading Community Coffee House. And I look forward to hearing what Ann is going to do for us. So, Ann, it's all yours.
Great. Thank you, Steve. It's been a great night. Hope my voice holds out. Allergies, I guess. So this first song is a story. It's not my story, but I think it's a story that I wanted to tell. This is called I Decide. It was unplanned the night she was damned to this choice. He was kinder than a tender trembling in his voice. When he heard down on one knee, give me your word and marry me. Shaking her head, she cried, you might mean well, but I decide. She was so young when her life came undone. Then one night her father yelled, "You'll go straight to hell, yes you might." Here's what you'll do, you'll see it through. You'll be a bride with a child inside. Shaking her head, she cried, you might day arrived with picket lines and gruesome signs. Angry words were hurled at a scared, lonely girl. Holier than you, we know what to do. You'll give it away. You have no say. Shaking her head, she cried, you might mean well, but I decide. I decide.
Yeah. Very, very good.
Well, this is the title song from my new CD called The Next Dream. He packed his bags into suitcases, found a cabin on the plains, reviewing years of names and faces in whatever time remains. He said, I'm really not that deep. There's just more near the surface. Visions come in my sleep and point me to my purpose. This isn't a prophecy, he claims. This isn't my final gasp. It's just the next dream that came from questions I still ask. I ask. He hears the sea hiss in his ears. He hears angels in his brain. He feels the sky crouching so near. He hears heaven call his name. I'm not done with my work here. I just need inspiration. Let me see it clear. One more revelation. This isn't a prophecy, he claims. This isn't my final gasp. It's just the next dream that came from questions I still ask. I ask. This isn't a prophecy, he claims. This isn't my final gasp. It's just the next dream that came from questions I still ask. I ask.
That's what it's all about. And that was lovely.
Thank you.
And and insightful. It was beautiful stuff. So I'll let Mike Simpson draw a little more of that out of you. Go ahead, Mike.
All right, here I am, and I have to say, I always it's always a struggle to interview you because there's so much I want to talk to you about. I wish that I could. I wish that I was. We were sitting across a wooden table in a pizza parlor. I had more time to talk about this kind of stuff because there's so much of what you do that I'm impressed by. That little last lick that you wrote there right at the end, the instrumental, that was genius, man. I don't know if anyone else ever could have written that. Oh wait, somebody did. Okay. Um, alternate tuning.
Yeah, somebody else did, and they are a genius.
Yeah, he is, no question.
And that's what the song is about.
Yes, but yeah, I know that's it was very apropos. Alternate tunings. The big thing about alternate tunings, in terms of the negative of them, Joseph sort of hinted a little bit at this, is that it's possible to get lost in the noodling, and never progress. But your end results certainly don't have that problem. So what I'm going back to the theme of your first song there, alternate tunings. How do you decide what tuning to use where? And particularly, I would like you to address the issue of the example on your second song of working at very modal, haunting melody across that tuning. That's impressive, and I want you to talk about that a little bit.
Well, the different tunings have a different feeling to me, and yet I've also tried to explore the possibilities within each tuning. Try to expand the range because, among other things, just the logistics of carrying a whole bunch of guitars to a gig is tiresome. But the other thing that I do is try to, my husband and I play together a lot, and he plays, of course, his standard tuning, and we play covers. And when we play together, again, the problem of logistics, I play along in the tuning C, G, D, G, B, C. So I have had to figure out how to play the equivalent, more or less, of standard chords in that tuning.
Right.
But yeah, I think each tuning has a slightly different feel to me. And the tuning I played in tonight is DAD-GBC, which I came across when I was retuning from Dad-Gad to the C tuning that I use. It's actually a G sus4, but and halfway through I strummed the guitar. I said, wait a minute, let's stop right there.
Hello.
Yeah, we got something here. Let's figure this out. So.
Yeah, very nice. Working the melody across that tuning. Say it again. C, G, D, G, B, C. So, it's not dissimilar to a thing that's called Orkney tuning. A little bit like that one. Yeah. So what goes into getting that melody to hang across what is not necessarily a friendly tuning to half steps, except for the BC at the end? Yeah.
Well, I think that's one of the things that, I try to, when I write melodies, I really do try to have both steps and leaps. And then I find notes that are going to more or less go with what I'm playing in the tuning. And it's I think someone mentioned this earlier, it's sort of a chicken and egg thing where you change things in the chord progression or you change things in the melody until it all works. But there is sometimes purposeful dissonance in some of what I write.
All right. So I'm going to misquote a songwriter that I once took some classes from, and he talked about all of us as songwriters have a combination of privileges and responsibilities in wielding that brush. And one of them is we have the privilege and responsibility of telling others' stories as well as our own. It's all well and good to take ownership of something that you know is from your own experience and heart. But what you did was you took someone else's rather fraught story. How do you curate all the stuff that you come across into good song selections?
Oh, how do I curate?
Yeah.
Um,
How do you decide?
Different songs come, from different feelings. That particular song, I was invited to play at a fundraiser for the Blue Ridge Abortion Clinic. And I thought, I was going to play something else of mine, totally different. And I thought, oh, I don't think I can write this song. I don't think, I mean, I know what I would want to write. Let me see what I came up with. Uh, to tell the truth, I think it's my best song.
I don't have a wide enough experience of your stuff to necessarily say that, but I'll say this: it's one heck of a good song.
It's there are times when I still get to the key line, and in a performance about a month ago, I actually cried during that line.
Yeah,
and
I know
it's
that
still
one,
and I will say it. What I draw upon for that. Too much information. I'm a cancer survivor. I'm an ovarian cancer survivor, and so I take all of the emotion around that about life and death, and I put that into that song, even though that's not the story.
Yeah, that's a wonderful use of, pain to teach and to actually uplift other people. That's good stuff, Ann Sandstrom. I appreciate what you do. I love your work. I know you'll be back. Thank you for coming again, and just y'all keep writing here. All right, thank you very much. I'm back to Steve with you. Maybe.
And thank you so much. You've written some beautiful things with some very meaningful messages, and that's kind of what folk music is all about. So thank you again, and I would like to take this time to thank the rest of the other you and the other co-stars who have performed for us tonight, and I hope that each of you will wave to everyone out in cyberspace who's enjoying this as I call your name. So we've got Hank Stone, Joseph Isaacs, Ron Smith, Zoch, who I really didn't mean to to try and preempt your interview. I apologize for that. I'm so.
Oh, you're all good. It's all good. All good.
Bill Van Jura, Diane Patastello, the Black Door 74, which Mike is trying to rename, and last but certainly not least, Anna Sandstrom. You guys have done a wonderful performances here tonight, and of course, I should also thank Mike Simpson for his insightful and entertaining interviewing. This guy consistently amazes me with his breadth of knowledge and ability to elicit such wonderful things from so many wonderful people in his interviews. And of course, Capo Dave Williams for creating this show, making it possible, and just being an amazing guy. To all of you out there in cyberspace, thank you for joining us. Please do so again. We're on every first and third Sunday of each month. In the meantime, you can check out your local open mic venues. You can't do this all across the country. That would be ominous. Check your local open mic venues, and here's what can help you find them. Our website is openmicamerica.com, which we hope you'll share with others who would or might appreciate all that original songwriting delivers. It's a place to learn a bit more about our program, about our performers, and about the places where you can go to hear them and others play. We hope you'll do that. We also hope you'll download our OMA posters and perhaps even purchase OMA t-shirts. We'd love to see you do that. So that's kind of the end.
Steve, can I kick in with one last emphasis?
Oh, please do.
You know other people who do what you do. We need to know them too. So Capo Dave is your guy. Contact him and recommend people that you think fit in with the inordinately high quality level that we have here. But good people that would work on this show. We're always looking for that. And I want to point out that Steve and I are staff members. There's no particular wild, crazy route to that, but you can contact Capo Dave if you would be interested in interviewing or hosting, or in the boldest move of all, if you would be interested in becoming one of the techs and doing what Capo Dave has been doing tonight. But I would really encourage you to do that for us. Thank you very much.
Yes, this is a volunteer organization, and I've only been a part of it in a very small way, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been educational, and there's a lot to be learned from sitting in this chair. I've been an interviewer, and tonight I've been a host for the first time, and we'd love to see some other people get involved. We think it's a good program, and it could use a little support from people who are enjoying participating in as performers. I think they might enjoy participating as members of the gang. So by all means, if you have any interest at all, or if you'd like to try it, contact Dave, or just chase us down on the website. We'd love to have you included. So, gee, I think that's about it. Is there anything that I should be saying that I haven't said yet? I think it's time for our co-stars to mute themselves and maybe even shut down their videos so that we can run the credits, and we'll have perhaps a short talk afterwards after we're off the air. So it's been great fun. We've had some marvelous performers tonight, and I am proud to be a part of this, and hope we see all you people out in cyberspace. I hope we see you again, and all the performers. We'd like to have you back. So there it is. That's the show for tonight. And there's something I'm supposed to say here, and I think it's good night, America. I hope that was right.
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.